In this video, I'm going to introduce you to everything about Counter-Strike 2 and help make sure your beginner experience is as fun and as easy to understand as possible. Counter-Strike is very easy to play, but very difficult to master. If you've never played a shooter before, or you aren't comfortable with the keyboard, I highly recommend you load into a practice server, go to play, practice, choose any map you want, then on the left here, you want to turn everything on. Then just go to the bottom right and hit go. Once you're in, buy yourself a gun, grenades, and some armor. Then run around and try to just get a feel for the game. To change your controls, press escape, go to the top left to hit options, and just click keyboard and mouse. Here, you can change anything you already know you want to change, or just change things as you see comfortable. For your mouse sensitivity, I recommend having it slow, but for right now, I just say move it to a low number that you're comfortable with if you aren't already comfortable. Let's pay attention to one of the most important parts about Counter-Strike, your movement. Good movement makes you more accurate, harder to hit, and it's going to be important to understand what's going on with your movement as well as practice it. Movement in Counter-Strike is very easy to understand. In other games, you press W, then you start to go forward until you let go of W, then you stop right where you let go. If you were on ice in a different game, you would let go of W, then you should keep moving forward on the ice. That's how movement works in CS2. You're accelerating your player in one direction, and when you let go, your player now has to decelerate before they stop. The problem with this is that in Counter-Strike, you have to be standing still to be accurate. And if you're sliding after you let go of your key, you're going to still be moving, so you're not going to hit your shot. This is where you learn counter-strafing, where you move in the opposite direction to cancel your movement and become accurate much faster. To get a feel for counter-strafing, try aiming your crosshair at a spot in the wall, then let go of your mouse, and try counter-strafing your crosshair back into that spot in the wall. If you don't counter-strafe and you try to just walk into it, you're going to notice that you're just flying all over the place. But when you stop, it's an instant stop. You don't have to spend a lot of time practicing it, but you do need to know how counter-strafing works if you want to have a good start. Like I already said, you're more accurate standing still, so after you practice some counter-strafing, try shooting a few bursts into the wall as you come to a stop. And you'll notice how inaccurate you are if you mess up your counter-strafe. Every gun in Counter-Strike has its own unique spray pattern, and you'll see this as you shoot at the wall. For example, the AK when sprayed at the wall has a pattern that starts going up and then to the right. If you want to control your shots, you have to do the opposite of what's on the wall. So down and to the left. Practice just a bit to get your bearings. Later, I'll show you how to get custom maps for practice. When you're ready to play, I recommend loading into a match with bots, but you can also load into a casual or deathmatch too and do the same thing. But it can get annoying dying while trying to change your settings and trying to get used to the game. If you take the time to dial in your actual settings, you'll get used to the game much faster. Go back to the practice menu and load into training day here on the left. This mode will give you HUD tips on what to do and what to buy, and it does a pretty okay job. The bots are pretty dumb, but this is a perfect time for you to find out if you like your sensitivity or not, and how your computer handles the game. You want to make sure you have a consistent frame rate, while also being able to see clearly. I'll go over some basic video settings real quick. First, hold shift on your keyboard, then press tab to bring up the Steam overlay. Go to settings, in-game, then you'll see in-game FPS counter. Switch this to top left or anywhere else you want, and you can even turn on high contrast if you want to. This will show you how fast your game is running in real time. And you not only want your FPS to be high, you also want it to be consistent. If your FPS is locked at 60, make sure you change your refresh rate in the video settings to allow your PC to push more frames. If you're running around in your training day match and you notice the frame rate is going low in gunfights or near action, you should open your advanced settings and go to the preset tab and turn it down a notch. While you're here, I recommend enabling NVIDIA Reflex if you have that option, and Reflex Plus Boost if you aren't having too many frame drops. I would, however, keep Fidelity FX turned off if possible, since it degrades the graphics and it makes the enemies blend in way too much. When you finish your training day match, you should hopefully have tuned your settings to what you want them to be. If you're still having trouble running the game, or you need help with your settings, you can ask me questions in my Discord server, link in the description. I'm also giving away this M4A4 Tamaku for hitting 1K subs, and if you want to join our community, you can enter the giveaway as well through my Discord. Now you can enter casual and deathmatch servers to learn how to play the game. If you haven't bought Prime account status for CS2, I would highly suggest doing so when you have the chance, as you'll earn drops, encounter less cheaters, and have an overall more enjoyable experience when you're playing. When you're in a match, you can press tab by default to open the scoreboard, then you can right click your mouse to move your cursor over people's names. From here, you can click on anyone that's annoying and mute them or turn their volume down. You can also just mute everyone by pressing this button up here. If you want to make sure your voice isn't being heard, you can open the audio settings, click voice, and make sure that your audio method is set to push to talk and not open mic. Then you can check what your push to talk button is with this link here. You'll now need to play casual and deathmatch until you're level 2, and that'll take anywhere from 20 to 70 minutes. It depends how good you are in your first few matches. It's okay to mess around in these lobbies, and don't take anything too seriously. You don't need to know everything about the game until you're comfortable with the basics of CS2. Pay attention to the map layouts and how site retakes are being done in casual, as it can help you transition to competitive. Once you've hit level 2, you can play competitive, and it's up to you to learn callouts, timings, and utility. The best way to learn all those is actually from watching streamers, pro players, or even your friends and teammates. If you look up a utility lineup video, make sure you practice the utility you're watching, as most players tend to watch the video and then just try to throw them as they remember, which typically won't work out. I also upload videos all the time trying to help people improve. I'll have some beginner videos in the description and at the end of the video. I'll also link some custom maps in the description to help you practice your recoil control as well as your aim. Just click the map links and subscribe to them on the workshop. It could take anywhere from 1 week to 2 months to get decent at Counter-Strike, so just have fun learning the game and try not to let yourself get tilted at anything. You're going to miss a lot of easy shots and die to a bunch of running headshots, but that's just CS and you'll learn to love it. Don't forget to subscribe and join my Discord server to enter my giveaway. As always, every link you need is in the description. If this video helped you at all, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you and goodbye.